Let's get on to our last album. Going to be the same thing, I would imagine. Tallulah by Feeder, the Brit rock stalwart's 10th record. Feeder are a band who have a lot of hit singles, and let's not forget, they headline Download because they're a proper metal band at a proper metal festival.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, they headline Download. They headline one of the first Downloads.
Were you there?
No.
No, okay. I would have loved to have seen that.
I think many people were, to be honest. But yeah, you forget that now. Feeder were a big fucking deal for a while. They're not as big a deal as they used to be, but they still do have a beautifully shiny, brilliant back catalogue of excellent singles.
Absolutely.
But here's the but.
Uh-oh.
Are Feeder a good album band? I'm going to just say straight away, no, they're not. Feeder have one good album, and it's their first album.
I disagree.
Okay,
I disagree.
What is a good Feeder album?
Yesterday Went Too Soon. It's fucking banging, mate.
Is it?
Yes.
No.
Renegades is fucking great.
Renegades has got some really good songs on it, and it's certainly the best Feeder album for some time.
There's around 12 songs on it, and I would say around 12 of them are great. So I'd say that's a good album. I'd say it's a great album.
You think all 12 songs are good on that album?
Don't quote me on that.
Well, I think you've been quoted on that. I like the one that goes, if you want to hear this song, if you want to hear it, if you want to hear this song, you just dun call out all night. That's good, that one, isn't it?
Nice, very good.
Yeah.
What else will I stick up for?
You can't.
It's harder.
It's harder because they don't really have consistently great records. And I'm not like mugging Feeder off because, like I say, they write brilliant songs.
Comforting Sound, maybe?
Comforting Sound is the closest thing to a...
Perfection.
No, to a good Feeder record that isn't Polythene.
Okay.
I think, but I wouldn't say it's a consistently good record. They get some half and halves sometimes,
yeah,
and they get some. The singles are great, and everything else is a bit like. But when they get it right, they are fucking great. Feeder, they are really, really great.
I totally agree. I think Feeder are kind of somewhat maligned by a lot of people who
boring and
for being boring. I mean, there was so much of that, and I remember like every single time Kerrang would write about them, they'd be like, "Oh, they write great songs, but they're just so boring." Yeah. And then I don't know how much I'm going to go into this or not, but like, there was quite a horrible thing that happened with Feeder because then as soon as their drummer committed suicide, John Lee, suddenly the press was super, super interested, and that's when they became really big. And it was the Comfort in Sound tour, which was the album which was in response to that. That's when they became an arena band, which, I mean, I don't
mawkish.
know. It is sort of mawkish. Yeah. And, I think Feeder, I love Feeder. And so this is coming from a place of love and not a place of hatred. I'm not sure if they should have ever quite been an arena act, maybe. But I think they are...
Well, hey, man, listen. It's a similar thing, in my opinion, to Oasis and the Foo Fighters and their stadium acts.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's a similar thing to Architects, maybe. But...
What are you fucking on about?
But I feel like certainly for the last few years, Feeder have their fan base. It's pretty...
Sorry, hold on.
Okay, yeah.
Architects are a singles band.
No. In terms of a tragedy has taken them to where they are.
Right, okay. No, I don't like that, mate. In an episode where I have gone out of my way to be offensive, that's the most offensive thing of this entire episode. Continue.
It's a...
No, I don't want... Let's not dwell on it anymore, Renfrey. You said it now.
No, it's a mawkish... It's not... It's a cynical thing to say, but I think there's a lot of truth in it. And I think... Feeder sort of got to that stage, and then they went down to sort of Brixton Academy sort of size, or Roundhouse sort of size, which is probably where they are now, probably where they should be, to be honest. But I think I actually really, really like Feeder. I think they're a great band.
I do. And to be fair, it's another Feeder album. Like, again, a bit like Killswitch Engage. They do the thing they do very well. I mean, opener Youth is the most 90s thing I've heard since, Feeder in the 90s, to be honest. Like, that just production wise, everything about it just sounds like summer 90s pop rock.
Yeah.
And it's great for it. Like, it's cool.
When Grant Nicholas is just brilliant at writing pop rock songs.
He is,
I think Grant Nicholas, he rarely stretches further than... he rarely stretches beyond his limits, if ever. But he knows what he's good at. And to be this... Because one thing I'll say about Feeder, I think they've always been consistent.
Yes, they have, yeah.
There's
always like a few great songs every time they put them out, like say singles, or like there'll be a couple of deep album tracks, and there'll be something. That's a really fucking good, just a good song.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, no, definitely not. No, I think this is. I think Feeder do good albums, and I think they do very good albums. And I think this is a good album.
Yes. I think there's a song called Daily Habit, which is really good. It kind of starts like 7 Days in the Sun, which is obviously one of their big hits, but then it kind of morphs into something else. But Grant Nicholas actually has got a really kind of a cool, like lazy, lackadaisical hand, the way he kind of strums is and that kind of like
you said I said the most offensive thing on this podcast.
Well, he's got a lazy hand.
Lackadaisical hand.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like Billy Corgan's got it as well. Billy Corgan's got it. The way he kind of just...
That's interesting you brought up Smashing Pumpkins, because this is another thing. Kerrang!
They used to be obsessively...
Kerrang! Were constantly saying they're the UK's answers to Smashing Pumpkins.
For one album they were.
Now, as I said, I love Feeder, but that's a bit much. Maybe Gish era Smashing Pumpkins I can see, but then they've never gone to Melancholy.
Oh, no. And I think those comparisons went out the window
quite
after
quickly.
one EP and one album.
Maybe.
I'm sure. Like, when Yesterday Came Too Soon, people were like, oh, okay. Because there is a lot of stuff, like when you listen to like Descent or Tangerine on Polythene, and you can hear the kind of, the Siamese Dream, that wailing guitar and stuff. But Grant Nicholas has, production-wise, has got rid of all that, but he's still got that way of playing the guitar where it's all a bit rough and ready, and I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
What I will say is this album I like Feeder when they're sort of fizzy and full of zip.
I certainly prefer them when they're fizzy and full of zip.
And I think towards the end, it gets a bit more indie, because they started getting compared and put in with the Coldplays and the Razor Lights of this world in the mid-noughties. And there's a touch of that towards the middle to latter part of this record.
Now, you said to me on the phone the other day that it was the last 3 or 4 songs.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that. I do agree that it ends on a bit of a bum note, this record.
Yeah.
I will absolutely agree and admit that. I can't remember the name of the song now, but it's just Lonely Hollow Days it's called.
Yeah.
It's just a bit wet.
Yeah.
But Kyoto is the 9th song or 10th song.
The 9th song. Yeah.
And that's probably the heaviest. I mean, this isn't Cannibal Corpse, but it's probably the heaviest song on the record.
Yeah, that's the exception to the rule, I would say. I would say from kind of the title track downwards, it sort of is a bit ho-hum, I think. But Kyoto, is probably...
You see, Guillotine is my favourite song on the record.
Is it?
Which is after Tallulah, the title track. It's track 8. I just really like it.
Yeah.
Can't tell you why.
I mean, it sounds like Feeder. Maybe I just got bored. Maybe I just thought, Feeder. Okay, you sound like Feeder.
That's what I suspect, to be honest, because it's 45 minutes. It's kind of after half an hour you've heard most of it. But
The Guardian gave it 2 stars, by the way, which is the same as they gave the Bon Iver album. So they're sort of the same.
But that's the thing. It's not a 2-star record, is it? I mean.
No, I don't think it is.
It's a
It's a 2.5.
No, it's a well-made pop rock record. It's nothing new or exciting particularly, but it's well done. I mean, the Foo Fighters haven't been as consistent as Feeder have.
No.
They just haven't. I think Foo Fighters have released better records than Feeder have personally. I'm not sure how you would feel about that,
Well, I don't know, to be honest. They're just both. They were good singles.
Fine. But I think Feeder, I don't think it's as easy to be this consistent over 10 records, and God, how long have Feeder been going? 94, 95, I'd imagine they formed. They consistently write really good songs. And as you say, there are always a handful of great songs on every Feeder record. Even the bad mid-noughties period, they did that song Pushing the Senses, which was a bit Coldplay.
But even really Coldplay then, didn't they?
They did, but even that song has a couple of brilliant. The first song on that record is fucking great. So I can't remember the name of it. Yeah. But yeah, there's not much more to say, is there?
No, Tallulah by Feeder is out now. It sounds like Feeder, basically.
Listen to Renegades instead.
Or Polythene, really.